Y'all, this was me the whole Bachelor review. I mean, show. Cause I'm tired of the shenanigans. I think that's where I'm getting frustrated. Like, I've never seen this show before. Like I said, I haven't seen this show since Jason was on this damn show as The Bachelor. So I don't remember there being as much antics as there is. I don't know. Can y'all get in the comments and tell me, has The Bachelor like always had this many antics and stunts and shows like in a season? Because I'm just so fucking fed up. Like, it's cool to have drama here and there, but like, it's getting to the point where it's like I don't want to watch this show anymore because it's getting out of hand at this point and it's getting ridiculous. Like, let's start off Jasenia and MJ. Now, like y'all know, last week we left off with both of them going to go see Matt or whatever. Like I said, I stand by what I said last week, which is I agree that MJ took part in the nonsense. She definitely took part in it, but I don't believe that she started it, and that's just my opinion. So when Jasenia was saying like sat down with, Matt, I guess, by herself and said, oh well, Victoria and MJ were the main ones on the front lines. I don't think that's true. I think the people who was on the front lines are the people who went home, which is Victoria and Anna. Those were the two main ones on the front line. And like I said before, Kit was also in that bunch of running her mouth about the new girls too. So it's confusing as to why you only said MJ's name. That's the only thing I'm confused about. Um, and the fact that Jasenia said that everything that MJ does is with malice, I didn't agree with that either. Again, like I said, did she partake in it? Did she add to the foolery? Yes, but I don't think that she was on the front lines of the foolery the way that Jasenia was trying to make it seem. That's why when she said your name, I was confused. Bitch, I was confused too. Because the main ones was Victoria, Anna, Kit. And then you can throw MJ in there too. That's just my opinion on how I seen it. But anyway, I'm sorry. I'm so annoyed this episode, y'all. It's not even funny. Um, he ends up sending MJ home. He ended up picking Jasenia. I don't like Jasenia's disposition. I don't know why. She gives me very like I think I'm better than. I don't know. That's just the vibes that she gives me, but whatever. So then they all, like I said, so it's the rose ceremony, and Jasenia comes in with her rose, and everybody's like, okay, well, we see you, girl, we see you, we see you. And then Chris Harrison comes in and says that because the night was so stressful. Now, mind you, this is I think like week 2 or week 3 of the foolishness, or week 2 of the foolishness as far as this. He said he's not gonna have a rose ceremony, so this is like the second fucking time that he's doing this. And I'm like, so in my notes, I'm like, oh, so are y'all happy for Jasenia now? Because it went from, oh, yes, we so happy for you, girl, to everybody got dead ass quiet. Yeah, y'all happy now, huh? Is y'all happy for her now? Y'all happy that, y'all that happy that MJ's going to Jasenia's here? I bet y'all the fuck aren't. All of them start copping attitudes. Serena C says, well, in our reality, like, this is the second time that this happened. And Katie, if you would have never ran back and told Matt about what was going on in the household, we wouldn't even be here to this point. We would all have time. And um, Katie said, like, no, that's not true. I had nothing to do with what happened tonight. That's not my fault. Okay, this is how I look at it with this whole thing with Serena C and Katie. Serena C, you are reaching, but at the same time, she's not lying, Katie. And this is what I say when I'm saying she's not lying. The reason why this is kind of sort of your fault is because it was a snowball effect. What happened was that, it put it like this. If you would have never went to Matt and told him that there was toxicity going on in the house, he would have never felt the need to go around and ask the girls who they thought was being toxic. And that means Jasenia would have had no reason to ever bring up MJ's name. You see how that all correlates together? So it's not directly your fault, but it is indirectly your fault. Because like I said, I personally, again, I understand, like I said, I get it about the whole thing about the girl who ended up, which is the crazy part, because she ended up being kicked off the show tonight, the same girl that you kept last week and said that you was going to have her back, you end up kicking her off this week. I get that situation. You didn't want anybody's reputation to be fucked up or all of that. That part I get. Understandable. But I feel like everything else that was being said by Katie about what was going on in the house, Matt did not need to know about. Because as we see going into next week, although Katie is gone, and although all of the other girls that y'all claim, or that Katie and everybody else claimed was so toxic is gone, guess what? A new girl is coming in and y'all acting the exact same way that y'all did before. So, again, that's why I feel like all of that was pointless. Because the new girl is coming in here, Heather, and y'all all gonna do the same fucking thing. And none of the girls that y'all claim was quote unquote the mean girls, they're not here anymore. So who y'all gonna blame now? Find that very interesting. So yeah, so then I felt bad for Piper, because Piper was crying a lot this episode. You know, she was crying a lot, but I really like Piper a lot. So then we do the roses for the night. So of course, remember, Kit already has one, Rachel already has one, Jacinia already has one. So we got Serena P gets one, Michelle has one, Piper gets one, Bree gets one, Chelsea gets one, Katie gets one, Serena C gets one, and Abigail gets one, okay? So the next day, Serena C pulls Katie to the side in a room and tells her pretty much that she thinks that she's like not being genuine, and that she's setting little fires here and there and there, and it's taking up everybody's time. Now, like I said, I agree to a degree with what Serena C is saying, but overall, I mean, girl, you could have just minded your own business. You confronting Katie, like Katie said, it was gonna do well. Like, what is that supposed to do? It is what it is. We are where we are. I do agree with everybody else when they was like, you just need to focus on your relationship with Matt and not focus so much about what everybody else is doing. If she ain't here for the right reasons, guess what? He'll end up seeing that for himself. So that's just that on that. And honestly, like I have in my notes, I'm just tired of this shit. Like, Katie did say this, and I agree, but I feel like she's part of it too. Oh, this is all high school. All of y'all acting like y'all are high school, and this just really getting on my nerve. It's making me like not even want to watch this show no more, because it's just constant little kid shit, and it's fucking annoying at this point. It's just so annoying. So yeah. So like I said, but Serena C was looking to start. I don't care. Let's move on. Then we have Heather, which is this blonde white woman. I had to Google who she was, because like I said, I don't watch The Bachelor, Bachelorette, so I have no idea who this girl is. But apparently they said she's from Colton's season, and Hannah Brown, who I read was the Bachelorette of season 15, that's her best friend, and that Hannah told her about Matt and said, oh, Matt would be good for you, so she just kind of shut the fuck up. This is my whole thing. Production. How many antics and stunts are y'all about to pull this season? This shit is enough. Like, I agree with what I think maybe it was Kit or somebody who said at the end, like when they said, okay, well, you know, I'm glad it's gonna be less about drama and gossip and more about the love stories. That's what I was hoping for. And I'm not even like a real love story type of person, but that's what I come to this show for. I don't come to constantly every single week. It has been, I feel like it has been non-stop for this fucking season. It has been non-stop of just bullshit after bullshit after bullshit. And a lot of it is contrived up by production. Y'all had that girl come here. Stop playing on the fucking viewers. Stop playing with our intelligence. We're not stupid. We know that y'all set it up for this girl to come here. But why? And why this late into the... We'll get there. So, Piper has a one-on-one date. She ends up, that G-Wagon that Matt had, it was clean as hell. Get into the G-Wagon, they pull up, go into the middle of the woods, and he had this whole carnival set up for her. I think that that's the, granted he might have took Rachel to get some red bottoms apparently. Y'all know I didn't watch that. They didn't skydiving here and there, but I really do feel like they had the best date so far this season. I thought it was cute, but it was cute, but it was grand at the same time. Like, it's a carnival, but it's a carnival for just them. I thought it was a really, really, really cute date. To me, it was the best date they had so far. So then the group card comes and everybody, so the person who has a one-on-one, because the name who's not called is Katie, her name's not called. And then we go and we see Heather, she's quarantining, because of course Chris Harrison's like, well, I can't say whether or not you can come up here. Stop fucking bullshitting. Like, anyway, back to Piper. Piper, she looked amazing for that dinner date. Hair up in a freaking bun. That dress that she had on, it was a turtleneck. Y'all know Y'all know Matt loves him a turtleneck. It was like kind of a turtleneck, but like a little bit of sleeve, black dress, but cut short, super, super, super short. I said, yes, Piper, you look good as hell. So she talks to him about how, you know, she has a hard time expressing love, and her family doesn't really say that they love each other. They more so express it. And so, you know, she tells him that she's fallen in love with him. I'm sorry, I said I wasn't going to say it, but I am. Every single time one of you girls get on this TV and say that y'all fallen in love with him, I'm going to check y'all, and I'm probably going to clown y'all for it. You're not falling in love with him. You haven't spent enough time with him. You are in deep like with this man, but you haven't fallen in love with him. This is your first one-on-one date with him. How are you falling in love with him? Makes no sense to me. Next. And the funny thing about it is, I said, she falling in love with him, but girl, he's not fall. He might like you a lot, but he's not falling in love with you, because you realize, you see that when she said it, he didn't say it back. He didn't say, oh, I feel the same way, because he don't. So just cut it the fuck out. So then after that, they leave the dinner, and then they walk into this room, and she's like, oh my gosh. And I'm like, well, who the hell is these white people? I don't know who any of these white people were. Was it Tabernacle Roads? I don't know what their name were. I'm gonna call them Tabernacle because I know it started with a T. I think it was Tabernacle Road, okay? Some white band, country band. Where was Jasmine Sullivan? She has a record to promote. Where is her? Because you could do damage. No, that's not a good song. She could have sang, you don't know, baby, when you hold me, kiss me slowly, it's the sweetest thing. Hey, and if it don't change, if I had it my way, you would know that she could have did the best part. There we go. Where's her at? Where's her? Okay. So yeah, so then they have a nice little time. She gets her rose, good to go. Then we go on a group date. Where we at, y'all? Then we go on the group date. I'm sorry, I gotta see how much time I have. I can't even fucking see. Okay. Then we go on a group date. And a group date is bowling, okay? I thought that was cute enough. That was probably the best. These are probably the best dates so far, except we'll get to the last one. But I thought the bowling date was cute. I thought it's something fun that everybody can do, you know. I thought it was cute. So then Chris Harrison comes out and like, you know, we're gonna make this a competition. We're gonna have the blue team, then we're gonna have the pink team. Whoever wins can pretty much, they'll take the time to be with him, and the other girls don't have to go back to the house, right? Okay, now this is not the first time we heard that, because the same thing happened when they did the hold on. Oh no, I was gonna say, where's Maury? She went home last week. I, I'm gonna touch on that too, as far as how they're spacing out the time with the girls, because it's pissing me off. But anyway, that one where Maury had one like MVP, and then like half the girls went home and the other girls went on a date. That's how this was supposed to go. So I have in my notes that the team pink was team of color, okay? Because those was, every single last one of them girls was a person of color to some type of degree. Now, they might have not been fully black, but they got a little bit of color in them. And the other girls, not so much, okay, except Bree. Bree got color, but she over there. The team color, team pink one, okay? So they're like, okay, yeah, we about to go, da 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 da. And so the girls go, the blue team goes back to the house or whatever. And they're all sitting there and they're boo-hooing because they don't get to spend time with him and this, that, and the third. Then Chris Harrison comes up and is like, oh, I have a date card for y'all. And Matt's like, oh, I feel bad. Matt, you're full of shit, because this is what really pisses me off. And I know I'm not the only person that's seen it online. You had nothing but women of color for the most part. I think all except one of them. No, it was all of them. Because it was Michelle, Serena P, Chelsea, Jasenia. I think that was it. You had a squad of nothing but women of color that you could have spent time with, and you decide to invite, minus Brie, of course, the white girls. Like, I'm sorry, I don't understand that. What was wrong with you just spending time with the girls that actually deserve it? Do you see what we're talking about? Like, Chelsea made a good point. Like, I literally earned my time, and you're still gonna give these girls, man, that's just a metaphor. That's a deeper metaphor I could go into later. But it's just really annoying. Like, I put in my Twitter, so hanging out with the color guys wasn't enough, huh? You just had them like the white. Why? All for you to do all of that, right? And then you give your freaking rose to Michelle. So my thing is, you could have cut all of them girls out and just kept the ones that you had. It's just, he's getting on my nerves. Like Matt just really pisses me off. But yeah, Michelle has her one-on-one. She ends up getting a rose at the end. But what else do I have to say about that? Before we get to the next scene, Serena P did talk to him, and I'm falling for you. All of you whores are falling for him. I'm tired of hearing it. Y'all are all full of shit. I'm tired of hearing about it. It's getting on my nerves. Chelsea said she's getting aggravated because, you know, her time with him is being taken up. Chelsea, don't worry. You gonna get your time. You gonna get your time, Chelsea. Um, and like I said, Michelle got the rose. I don't know. Maybe it's just me, but I don't feel anything when I look at Michelle and Matt together. That's just me personally. I don't feel a like genuine connection between them. But that's, like I said, that's just me. So then before he goes on his date with Katie, he goes to go see Tyler C, who I think was on Hannah season. I don't know who any of these people are. Like I said, I don't watch The Bachelor. So all I in my head I just look like it's some white boy that used to be on one of these seasons or whatever. And apparently they're best friends and they're roommates. Pause for a second. Roommate. So how much money you got, roommate? Because I thought about that. Man, how much money you got if you got a roommate? No shade at all. I'm not judging because we're in 2021 and I understand that times is tight. But like, how much money you really got? And where you live? And how did that work out with y'all two living with each other and you supposed to be getting a wife? Whatever. Anyway, I don't even know what the fuck they talked about. I have no idea. He talked about how he was ready to go on his date with Katie. Now, he goes to get Katie. First of all, Katie did too much both times. She gonna run and jump up on him. You're doing too much. But this is the thing. Katie meets him at the spa, right? So I'm thinking, oh, this is nice. They about to have a nice relaxing day with each other, get a couple massages. And wrong. What they're here to do is they're going to play a prank on his best friend, Tyler, okay, the guy who he was just talking to. And I'm just sitting here like, now I understand the part of the reason why he probably did that is because he said, oh, you know, Katie's a real playful girl, but I'm like, that's not a date. Like that's not a real date. You don't. I've seen all of these other dates you did with these girls. Why for Katie did you only do let's pull a prank on somebody? That's not a real fucking date, like, at all. So I was already disgusted off top. Okay. And then, you know, they end up going, they do that, mess with Tyler or whatever. And then she meets him later for dinner. And my whole thing is, and I promise y'all, this was in my notes. I wrote this before what happened. I literally have right here. He doesn't seem super into her. And the reason I said that is because it just felt like a very friend zone, especially at the table when she was talking, when she was telling him how much that she cared about him, how much she seen the future with him. Look, his whole face was just like this. It wasn't smiling. It wasn't, you didn't see nothing in his eyes. It was just very, So what I don't respect is the fact that production or whoever told him you need to pick up the rose, act like you're going to give it to them and then don't. So he picked up the rose and then pretty much told Katie like he just isn't into her the way that he's into other women in the house. He doesn't have a relationship like that with her like he does with everybody else. I seen that coming. Wasn't surprising to me. She ends up getting sent home. You know, after that, like I said, it wasn't surprising to me because I could tell he wasn't that into her. He just wasn't. It was obvious he wasn't. And so then it's this rose ceremony night, you know, and all of the girls are getting ready. And like I said, somebody was like, you know, I'm glad, you know, the last two ceremonies were kind of a little rough, but I'm glad this time around, you know, it won't be about the drama and stuff. And as soon as somebody, it won't be the drama, here come production. We've got the drama. Hey, we've got the drama. So then Heather pulls up. First of all, why the hell was Heather driving in the mini fucking van? But whatever. She pulls up in the minivan, parks her car, gets out, you know, walks into the house, don't even say nothing to none of the ladies, just waves and then goes into the back. Now at the time, Piper is talking to Matt, okay? And she comes in and Matt just starts cracking the fuck up. He's like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, what are you doing here? Like, this is crazy. So he's like, Piper, can you give me a minute? So Piper ends up getting out. Piper's a real black woman. She said, what the was that? I'm in here trying to spend time with Bay, and here she come, and so somebody's like, oh, she's from Colton season, and then, you know, they show previews of next week, you know, of everybody, like every single person there for the most part having some slick shit to say, and then, you know, you see the girl crying like, I've never seen people be so mean. So again, this just holds on to what I said before. a couple weeks ago when the new girls first came. You can't think you're gonna be a new girl come into this situation and not have no animosity towards you. That's just unrealistic. And guess what? Katie's not here, Victoria's not here, Anna's not here, MJ's not here. Even if you get rid of Serena C, which she said, you can see that she said something. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. The fucking it is what it is, pretty much. The new girls are not, nobody's gonna like her. Nobody's gonna like her because you're coming in way after the fact, okay? And you're trying to build a connection with somebody that we've been doing it for weeks. It's just that simple. Now, who shouldn't have a problem with this girl is the newer girls. And the only new girl, I think, because I think he got rid of all of the new girls except Michelle. So Michelle should be the only person that should be understanding because you just came like 2 weeks ago. So you should understand if this girl comes in. However, Karma, I do want to say this as far as production is concerned. I understand that y'all want to keep the wows and the thrills and all of this, but this it's really starting to make me mad because y'all are already diverting off of reality with how this whole entire show is set up. But the fact that you want to keep bringing in new girls, to me, is a slap in the face to the girls that's there, and number two is a slap in the face of the audience, because this is the point I wanted to make. Y'all can't, we as the audience, we can't even really see who Matt is really making a genuine connection with, because y'all don't even show any of the interactions with any of the girls long enough for us to even really get anything. Y'all really don't. Y'all bounce back and forth so much, and granted, I know there's a lot of girls, but y'all are not giving us enough of his interactions with these girls for us to really come to our own conclusion of who it is that he's really feeling. It's very hard to do that. And so you're now adding in another girl who we don't really give a fuck about, or who don't need to be there. She needs to go home. I agree. What are you coming in for? There are 9 girls left, and you want to now come in. And like all of them said, if this man turns around, and the only person I think it will make sense if he gives her a rose over is Serena C. And that's because Serena C really hasn't really been like too close with him or whatever. But outside of her, even though I don't like Margaret, although I don't like Kit, although I don't like a lot of these girls on here, it would be a slap in the face if this white girl walks into this situation and gets a rose off top and you just say fuck a lot of these other girls. That would be some bullshit. And ABC, y'all are wasting my time. Like, I'm trying so hard to hold on and continue to review this show. But if y'all are going to continuously pull stunts and shows like this, I'm not going to keep watching. Just let the process play out. I don't understand why y'all are making it so difficult. There has been enough drama this season. I was really looking forward to not having to deal with it the rest of the season because it's been so fucking consistent from the top of the damn season to now. It's been something every freaking week. It's been something other than just understanding these people's, like they said, love stories. Y'all are just so entrenched in the drama. This is not Flavor of Love. This is not Love and Hip Hop. Like, take the shenanigans down a couple fucking notches. Let's just see these people get to know each other. Y'all get no comments to tell me. I'm not fine.